So diversity of thought as an advantage in ethical decision. See what happens, as we have already discussed about groupthink. In groupthink, a group wants to dominate. A group wants to pressurize individual members. Okay, but do you think that is ethical? Is a individual's viewpoint is not something which has to be considered? No, individuals who are independently acting, or who are not a part of that group thing, their viewpoints are also something which is very much to be
Important.
considered. And yeah, and it can be very important, it can be very relevant or of high importance, so that has to be considered first and foremost thing. So diversity of thought is very good actually, and it is in ethics when we are discussing when we are doing this subject called ethics, we definitely want that to happen and that to prevail. Now, legal behavior versus ethical behavior. See, legal behavior is nothing but as per law. Here, see, every illegal act is unethical, but every, see, I'll write a point here. Every legal act is ethical. Okay, every illegal act is unethical, but every unethical act is not illegal. Okay, for example, if you are saying a lie to your friend, telling lies is not ethical, but is it illegal? No, it is not illegal. Understood what I'm saying? Hello?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you say a lie to your friend, it is of course immoral, it is of course unethical, but it is not illegal. So let's understand the point here. It is very important to understand the difficulties in legislating ethical behavior, because there are important differences between legal requirements and ethical requirements. Yeah, everything we cannot frame as a law. We cannot every see if we say that saying lie in our country is illegal, then it will become a very big problem. So we cannot make everything, we cannot bring every ethical thing into the ambit of law, or we cannot make every ethical aspect as legal. Okay, so legal behavior refers to actions defined by law or performed in compliance with law. Yeah, illegal behavior refers to actions made punishable by law. So that's what, if you are doing everything legal, then you're complying with law. If you are doing illegal acts, you're punishable. Legal behavior is rule based. That means you have to follow certain set of rules. It occurs in response to external pressure to obey a standard of behavior imposed from outside the individual or organization. Of course. Just a second, just a second. A rule-based frame of reference, however, cannot cover all possible issues, and in many cases it is constricted by wording and by interpretation of written words. So that's what, if rules are made, that has to be followed. Correct? If rules are made, that has to be followed, and those are all put in those are all framed and made in form of some statements or something and given. Legal behavior is based on required compliance with set of written laws. If you follow the laws, then definitely your behavior is solely legal behavior. But on the other hand, ethical behavior is principle based. Principle is nothing but like, you should not do this act because it is not good, it will be harming other people. These are not the rules which are framed and given to you. These are something which comes out of common sense. okay, or from the teachings, or from the, since we are in a society, definitely we have to be, since we are people who are in a society, and we cannot do certain acts which are not good for the society. We know that. So some common sense, we know, some we have some common sense. So these are like principle based, like if you do something bad to you, bad to someone, something bad may happen. Such kind of things are there in ethics. So ethics are principle based, laws are rule based, correct? So the principles provide a general guideline, but ethics can be a guideline for making laws. So in the olden days, like some long time back, like some 1,000 years back, laws were what actually? They were based upon ethics, good or bad. Okay, based upon that the judgments were made. So ethics can be a base for making law, but ethics exactly is not the law. Okay. Now, SMA, values and ethics. So now, creating a value-based ethics culture within an organization. So what does IMA want? IMA wants you, like, suppose if you become a member of IMA and you are working in an organization, so you will better understand that ethical culture in an organization is what is IMA wants, okay, or IMA votes for, or IMA kind of like IMA vouches for, or IMA supports for. Okay, so that's what IMA wants, and they want this to happen. So IMA statement of management accounting, values and ethics, from inception to practice outlines the steps to. So IMA's statement on management accounting, value and ethics, what does it show? Statements on management accounting. SMA means statement on management accounting, value and ethics. So from the beginning itself, what does it outline? The steps to creating a value-based ethical system in organization. So they are supporting that, they are pitching for that. So candidates preparing for CMA exam should read that document and understand it thoroughly, because it details how a management accountant can help an organization clarify, define and develop values and create a code of ethical conduct. It also explains the role of management accountant, no matter, so management accountant here means the member of IMA, no matter at what level of the organization, in the going development, in, in the ongoing development and maintenance of ethical environment. So they have to, IMA pitches for ethical culture. They want the members to help the organization to have clear values related to ethics, or ethical code of conduct should be there. They have to ensure that being a management accountant of the company, okay, and they have to see, like, no matter at what level of organization, in the ongoing development, they should also see that it should be maintained. See, as the time passes by, it shouldn't be like we framed the rules and we just kept it like that. No, it should not be like for the namesake, or in the papers. It should be followed even. Now, the provisions of the statement are summarized below, but candidates should also download the full statement and familiarize themselves with it. So what is that given? So ICMA, Institute of Cost and Management Accountants, expects CMA exam candidates to be able to apply the relevant provisions of values and ethics from inception to practice to business situations. The major provisions as outlined in the SMA are what? Value, ethics and accounting, or why financial and management accounting professionals need to focus not only on control activities but also on human behavior. It's very important. That's what the first point says. It is not only the work what they have to focus on the human behavior as well. Defining and developing the organization's behavior values. So comparing the existing ethical culture in the organization with the expectations of the organization. See, we made a policy statement. We have a plan. So based up, so we have some expectations as per that plan. So what we need to check here? We need to check whether our expectations are matching with reality. Okay, whether the organization is doing whatever it is supposed to do, and whether it is doing as per the expectations what it has already framed. So that has to be seen. And if there is any difference in that, then that has to be minimized. Leadership by example. So the IMA member should act like a leader, and he should set an example in the organization. So the importance of those in leadership roles leading by example in their daily management activities. Ethics and internal controls should be very intact. The integration of ethics into business process management, converting intent to operational reality. It is not only the intention what you have to do good things. Your intention should also should also be seen in reality. That means in real also you should do such acts. Measuring and improving ethical compliance. So always trying to see how a commitment to an ethical culture can be verified, validated, and assessed. That means always trying to improve the compliances related to ethics in the organization. So value, ethics, and accounting. See, I have already explained you this points in details. So I think, can you give a reading to this, or else I shall cover up some points, important points in this. Let's see. Most employees cannot be controlled in every aspect of their work. Of course, and organizations must rely on the judgment of their employees and supervisors to decide on course of action when unplanned events occur. So motivated employees can be the most valuable asset an organization has, because they are very motivated and they work with diligence, hard work. As people bring their knowledge to the workplace, apply innovation to creating new products and services, and find new ways to perform their duties more efficiently. At the same time, what these problems, where these people who are like the ones who are a problem for an organization, the unmotivated employees, they don't work, and they are also influencers. They don't want others to work. So at the same time can be an organization's greatest liability, particularly if they are in a position of leadership or are influencers. So unmotivated employees can create an atmosphere that negatively impacts the cooperation needed among the staff and the relationships between staff and suppliers and between staff and customers. So to make sure its employees' behavior is consistent with its desired principles, hiring decisions and employee training must address the alignment of employees' individual values with the organizational values. Yeah, see what you have now. You should now leave that and follow the organization's values now. So furthermore, see, ethical. If you have all the ethical values in you, that's not a problem at all. Follow the values as per the code of ethics of the organization. Unethical values you have to leave. So furthermore, management accountants need to find ways to ensure that organization's human assets are used effectively. Now, defining and developing the organization's behavior values and code of ethics. Defining and developing the organization's behavior values involves in determining the differences between what should be and what is. What should be, yes, what the organization should be like, and what it is like. So every organization has a culture, of course. The first step in establishing an ethical culture is to assess the existing organization culture in comparison with the principles the organization believes in and desires to act upon. So that's what we are and what we want to be. So these two things are very important thing. So has to be considered very at priority. So first we have to assess the existing culture. Now what is right now we are running the organization like, and how we want the organization to run in the future. That's what also we should see. So existing culture is what is can be assessed by means of focus groups and surveys involving employees, suppliers, and we conduct a survey and we understand about the existing culture. The focus groups can be used to discover the major categories of values that are being expressed in the organization. So the survey groups will do that. After the broad categories of values have been identified, they can be combined with the organizational values as perceived by senior management and shareholders. A survey can be designed and conducted to learn the reality of values seen within the organization by people both inside and outside of the organization. So that survey they can do. Shareholders, the board of directors and senior management can develop the organization statement of its principles and what should be. That means what it is and what should be. They should frame it very clearly, which becomes the organization's code of ethics. The board of directors, see who are the ones who are entitled to see that all the compliances are followed. The board of directors. So the board of directors should oversee the development of code of ethics and creation of value-based ethics culture within the organization. So they are the ones who have all the pressure. So they are the ones who have to ensure that all these things are properly framed and implemented. Now, defining and developing organizations' behavior values And code of ethics should include much more than just crafting statements. It should not be like just statements are made and given. No, statements to be made and everyone should follow even. That has to be ensured. And everything should be properly communicated to all the employees. Leadership by example. So leadership is defined as the ability or authority to guide and direct others toward a goal. So if I am a leader, so I will definitely work for to achieve something. That's the reason why I'm leading some organization or I'm leading. So I have a goal, and since I have a goal and I'm leader to people, everyone would also be supporting me to fulfill that goal. Correct? So ethical leadership creates an ethical culture and significant impact on ethical decision making, because a leader has the ability to motivate others and enforce organizations norms, policies, values, customs, beliefs and ceremonies. So if you see Dhirubhai Ambani, you see Reliance Mukesh Ambani, these people are the ones who are not only the directors but also they are like leaders to the organization. So people see and look forward to them because they have achieved the success. So now there whatever they do, it motivates others. Okay. So like a business leader has ability to motivate others and enforce. So he is the one who can kind of like make norms for the organization, policies, values, customs, beliefs, ceremonies. And ethical leadership models ethical conduct for employees and help to implement and reinforce such shared ethical values to promote an ethical culture. Thus, ethical leadership guides and directs others toward ethical behavior. So this leadership guides people towards this. So effective deployment of an organization's code of ethics is supported by the following ethics related actions by managers and supervisors of the organization. Leadership setting a good example, the tone at the top. Leadership's keeping its promises and commitments. Leadership supporting others in adhering to ethics standards. So if leaders are good, they are up to the mark, they are intact, everyone would be following them, and everything from top to down would be what? As like intact, or then you won't find much faults in that. Okay. So ethical leadership involves not only the senior management of a firm but also members of the firm's board of directors. So it's not only the management but also the board of directors as well as officers of corporation have fiduciary responsibility. That means they act as agent of the shareholders for the organization, and they have duty of care, due diligence, to make informed and prudent, that is wise, prudent means wise, decisions to avoid ethical misconduct, and to provide leadership in making decisions that prevent ethical misconduct in the organization. So they have to ensure that ethics is followed, and definitely with that they are preventing any kind of ethical misconduct in the organization. So ethical leadership by finance and accounting professionals is equally important. Management accounting professionals have a responsibility to uphold and promote an ethical culture in the organization. Members of the IMA are expected to adhere to IMA statement of ethical professional practice and to apply it to situations in their professional and personal lives. Now, importance of human capital. Of course, human capital is very important. You know, the company is run by human capital, the CEOs, the CFOs, the directors, everywhere there are human capital. So proper training to them and implementation of ethics in the organization, and everyone following the ethics very strongly, ethical beliefs and values. You see, things would be traits of ethical leaders. Ethical leadership is leadership theory that uses ethical concepts in influencing and managing subordinates. See, they perform their tasks. Of course, we never say that they're not performing their tasks, but they're performing with ethical values. That means they have ethical values in them, and they are following those values and they are performing their task. That means you expect everything very honest from them. There would be integrity. Okay, they will be very much truthful. They will be very much trustworthy. Okay. So all these things would make us to trust and believe our leaders. Am I right? So let's discuss all those points. So what are the traits of ethical leaders? Like what kind of traits a ethical leader has? Did we do this? I think this is some repetition only. I think again and again it is getting repeated. Okay. So what traits? That means what qualities a strong leader should have? He should be he should have integrity. They should behave with integrity. That means they should be like, meaning their actions are consistent with their principles. What they believe, they do the task in that way. Honesty, that means they should be very sincere, frank. They should not deceive, cheat. Trustworthy, conscientiousness, or they should be very vigilant, careful, thorough, careful. Inclusiveness, ethical leaders encourage other opinions and ideas, can work with people from varied backgrounds, they are able to listen without judging. Accountability, whatever the task they do, they are accountable, they are responsible actually. What is inclusiveness? They encourage other opinions and ideas and can work with people from varied backgrounds, they are able to listen without judging. That means the other people also, they know that they are of such kind of, they have such qualities. Consideration, they consider all the actions and find ways to minimize harm. Okay, and they treat subordinates and other stakeholders with fairness, that means no partiality, and honesty as people of equal worth. Humane, that means whatever the task they do should be very much beneficial to the team. Focus on team building, that means they know like individual cannot perform everything on his own, so a team building is required that would benefit the entire organization. Consistency, they should show consistency in their work, even though whatever the obstacles they have to face. Authoritative, that means of course they are the ones who are the leaders, they lead from the front, they can be very authoritative and they can take crucial decisions because they have got that power to do. Okay, because they are responsible in many cases. Encouraging initiative, that means they also involve employees and praise them for their for some kind of like initiative if they take. Okay, give them some rewards. Be very respectful, should be good listener, personally moral, and give credit where credit is due, that means promotions and all to their employees. Be should be very much fair and just. Courageous, place the interest of the organization above their own, that means their whatever they're doing for organization, not for their personal interest. They should be role model. With such kind of good qualities, they can be good role models. And the use of decision rules, ethical leaders rely on ethical decision rules such as golden rule and the New York Times test. The New York Times test says that in making decisions, leaders should ask themselves whether they would want to see the action they are contemplating reported in the news. That means what they are going to do is going to become a news. So that should spread, that should give that news should spread like spread between the people and motivate them to do good tasks. Then they should be they should set up good communication channel, whatever it is they should communicate, and intolerant for any kind of ethical violations. So like many people are like, they say several authors have speculated, there's an important note, that some people are simply incapable of being ethical leaders, and that it is extremely important to take care to identify such people and ensure that they are not placed in leadership positions, like corporate psychopath, some people who do not have like lack of conscience or emotions and inability to have feelings, sympathy or empathy for other people, ruthlessly manipulate others without conscience. So all bad characters, if someone is having bad traits, then try to disassociate yourself from such kind of leaders. Okay, and then comes the ethics and the internal controls. Management accountants have the strongest ethical influence in areas of internal control and risk management. Of course, they are involved, they are somewhere or the other, their task what they perform is also aligned with all this all these areas. So much of the work associated with internal control and risk management involves judgment calls that require the accountant to weigh difficult and sometimes conflicting values. Even though specific procedures are codified, it is up to the accountant to apply regulations in a manner that reflects and in some cases influences the ethical culture of the company. Furthermore, because so much of what an accountant does involves complex formulas, calculations, and mathematical intricacies drawn across spreadsheets, and see, they do all the tasks. They shouldn't be lazy in their work. They should do everything ethically, following ethical standards. That is, they should be focusing on their work and should do justice with the organization and the company they are working. In overseeing internal controls, if they have to be very intact, and they should ensure that internal controls are intact in the organization and they should not compromise in anything. Okay, and guide their team also that like if they are having this task of doing the internal controls in the company, they should be very vigilant. Okay, and see that all the compliances are followed. Fine, and that is nothing but very important for the organization, and that is what is understood like spirit of the management accountant's role can be seen in if they perform in such a way. And with the respect to risk assessment, management accountants must consider human behavior as a type of risk, of course, because that can change and frauds can happen because of that. Uh, like and In absence of value-based ethical environment, management accountants should have to deal with widespread and pervasive business risk in all levels, a condition that could potentially lead to numerous lapses and in the worst cases poorly vetted investments and systemic breakdowns. An ethics-based environment, however, provides a decisive framework for decision making by employees when company policy does not provide a specific answer, leading to consistency in decisions and a common understanding of expected behaviors. Thus, by promoting an ethics-based culture, a management accountant can greatly improve his or her working environment while at the same time maintaining a sense of stability so that risks are properly addressed. If ethics are there, definitely many of the risks can be minimized, because if they train employees to follow ethics, then if they are having an intention to do any kind of fraud, that can be minimized, because the ethics and with a good and proper training of all the ethical values, these values will of course prevent the employees for to do any kind of malpractices, okay, or any kind of what we say unethical acts. Okay, so we will continue from this tomorrow, like next class, page number 203. We continue from this and we'll see like where is this ethics ending. 203 to, because we have to take how many classes? Last page is 212. So 10 pages more, max to max 2 classes, or else I will try to take in 1 class itself. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.